Hey guys, I'm Chewy Mew, but my real name is Eric, and welcome to another Chewy Mew review, where I review pretty much whatever I want. And today we're going to be taking a look at Spectacular Spider-Man figure. The spectacular, based from the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon. And this guy, as you can tell, has been played with a lot. A lot of the joints are really loose. So when I got this figure, when it came out. I wasn't able to watch the show because I didn't have cable, and so the only way I could watch them was like renting them from the Redbox or our video store, or even the or buying them in stores. And so I never got to watch the show until maybe like a couple months after the figures were released. And so I just played with it. Like I played with this like crazy. This kind of became like my default Spider-Man for a while, and as you can tell, this figure, like all the face, the eyes on the webs are scratched, the spider logo's gone. On the back, there's like a lot of bit missing on the butt, on the back, the spider. This arm joint here is kind of coming off. This leg is actually, the knee is actually broken here, and all the crazy loose joints. There's like the parts on the webs, the black webs are coming off. And this figure has a lot of crazy wear and tear, just like this guy. The first Spider-Man I ever had, the first Spider-Man figure I ever had, a lot of crazy wear and tear. We sit him there. We sit him there too. And this guy too. Pretty much these three Spider-Man figures were the ones I played with the most. Like I pretty much would use him as like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and I would use him as, just non-Tobey Maguire. So like when my friend and I would be playing the Spider-Man movies, we would use him or the other Spider-Man movie figures. But I got him first, I think. So I used him a lot. He played with him like crazy. This guy, being the first, has the most damage. And him, like when the show came out, I was just like, oh, this Spider-Man figure looks awesome. It looks so stylized and so skinny looking, so funny looking, that I was like, I love this figure. And I would use him as the main one. All right, let's put these guys back. So the one thing that sucks is I actually had almost all of them. So I have this figure. I had the symbiote Spider-Man, Venom, Electro, Rhino, a bunch. I pretty much had like all of the villains in this new stylized form. Green Goblin, Sandman. I had a bunch of them. I even had some alternate versions, like the alternate Sandman, the weird armored Green Goblin, the two different versions of Doc Ock, Vulture, Electro. I had so many different versions of them, and sadly, they were sitting in a box in my garage, and they melted. They melted along with all my Power Rangers and all of my they melted with all my Power Rangers, my Batman figures from the Batman cartoon, the all my Ninja Turtles. Pretty much all that survived from that was all my Toy Viz figures, because they were in a box in my bedroom. This guy and a couple other Spectacular Spider-Man figures that survived were also in my closet. No Power Rangers survived. No the Batman figures survived. And Legos were in my room too, so that's all that survived. And that sucked because so many of these looked so cool. They were still in good condition. Like the Green Goblin was completely good condition. But yeah, that just sucks. So many of them, I lost so many of my toys. But either way, I would love to have reviewed like the Batman figures, my Justice League figures. Heck, even if you guys want to, I'd even review the Power Rangers, but all those are gone now. All I have left is my Legos, plush toys, and basically only these figures I'm reviewing. That's pretty much all that's left. But either way, let's continue on with this review. So his head has a ball joint, rotates all the way around. He doesn't really look up. He looks down that much. Doesn't look up at all. Just kind of stays there. He has a good rotation here in the what's that called? The ball joint in the torso, I guess, torso ball joint. He doesn't go forward too much. Doesn't go back much. He tilts left and right okay and rotates around a lot. The arms rotate all the way around, which the joints are really loose from all the playing. He has one web shooting hand and one I guess like a grabbing hand, because he originally came with this webbing thing that you'd stick to like a window, like at the suction cup you stick it to a window and then he'd be like hanging from it, I guess. The legs have the articulation, which I don't like, where instead of just kicking the leg forward out, you have to, there's this joint here where, you see there's a joint right there where you kick the leg out, and if you want him to kick sideways, you have to rotate the leg to kick it. Pardon me, that was my alarm going off. But yeah, he has the funky articulation, but with how loose the joints on the figures are, it doesn't affect anything, and he had a bend in the, only single bend in the knee, but this knee, however, broke. But yeah, but just take a look at this face again. A lot of damage this figure took. The torso, there's even some damage here and stuff. There's some blue paint mix over there. Some leg damage, some paint coming off, more paint chips. The one thing I like about this figure is that even though, yeah, the articulation is very minimal, it's, as a kid playing with this thing, it was still fun, but it was fun because this feels like a toy. Like, it doesn't have much articulation. Compare that even to like this guy, which has a lot of articulation. This is amazingly fun to play with all the articulation, all the joints, everything with this one. This one was fun to play because it was just so simple. Like yeah, it didn't have all the advanced like, it's not super posable. You couldn't really pose him too much because, you know, only single bends in the elbow, the arms rotate. You couldn't swivel the bicep, you couldn't move the hands. There's no hinges there, no hinge on the foot, no toe bending. The head doesn't really have much motion, kind of can just spin the head all the way around. But I always thought this was cool as a kid just because it's just a toy, you know? It's a toy. It's not meant to be like a superposable action figure. It's meant to just be like a toy that you can just, like, you know, take your Spider-Man, take a villain, and then pow, 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 you know? Kind of cheesy, but yeah, but like, that's why I like this as a kid. But either way, that's going to be all for this review. I will see you guys in the next review. Let me know what you think about this guy. And if you like the video, you know, leave a like. Let me know what you think about this figure, and also let me know what you think about the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon. Personally, I think the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon is the best adaptation of teenage Peter Parker. Alright, guys. Bye. Wow.